Hi everyone, so today I'm going to try out Spellbinders' new clear stamp of the month along with the die and possibly the embossing folder, the standard embossing folder of the month for July of 2023. This is Pine Cones and Holly, basically frame. Talked all about it in my original unboxing video, so I will link that video in the description box. You can check that out, and we will go from there. So these items were sent free of charge for my review, and of course all opinions are my own, and any links I have in the description box will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items to those links. So I think my plan for today, again, with the kit of the month, or these club kits, you can get just the stamp. You can get the stamp with the dies. You can get, different value clubs, total package, things like that. The new wax seal and new Better Press plate clubs are separate, so I'll have all of them linked in the description box. But I'm going to be using, like I said, the dies with this guy. I already went over all these. Basically everything you see here has a die to go with it, even the wording, so that's really nice. And then there's a larger frame. And then, the outline, and then this guy, if you want to pop it in there as like more like a frame, right? What we're gonna do today, I believe, is I'm gonna make a standard A2 size card, maybe some embossing. I did bring out this gold paper because I thought this would be really cool. Hi, maybe you saw me in there. So I'm going to trim this down just to start off at 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and then I'm going to run it through the standard embossing folder. So since this is a standard embossing folder, just do whatever your machine needs for something basic. This is the gift wrap pattern. Really, really pretty. So we'll start there, and I'll be right back. I'll show you as I place this in here. I kind of just looked at the pattern and kind of divided like left and right, try to center it as best I can, and that's what I'm going to do. So again, standard, so I'm just going to use my plate, just your basic plate, and a cutting plate, and that's for the Spellbinders Platinum, and I'll be right back. This guy out. Oh my gosh, so pretty. Just super detailed, and then of course the deboss is just as pretty. So what I'm going to do in the meantime, I'm just going to go ahead and glue this down. This was cut 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 because that's what I like, but if you like your matte layer to be, have a little more of the white edge, 4 by 5 1/4, or just matte the whole thing 4 1/4, 5 1/2, whatever it is that you like. But I'm just going to put some glue on the back of this and glue that down. And as always, guys, I like to put something heavy on top just to keep it nice and flat, especially with the embossing. But look at that. Lovely. Okay, so I just have piece of white heavyweight cardstock here, and put this to the side so my camera hopefully won't get too upset. And we're going to start off doing some embossing, and let's see. So, you have all these wordings, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year, warm wishes from all of us, from our house to yours. So lots of ways to play with those, or just Merry Christmas, or play it up. You can make your own kind of sentiment. I'm going to pop this like here and get it set up on a stamping platform right quick. And basically giving myself room, even though I know the die is pretty much right on the edges of that. And we're going to cut it out, so it doesn't really matter to me, where this is right now. And you can stamp your sentiment. I think I'm going to do the sentiment on its own and just pop that up just to give some more dimension to the card, so I'm not going to worry about this. But if you wanted to use both dies, you can cut this out so it makes like a frame, right? So right now we're just going to take an anti-static pouch, hopefully really get that on there, because I'm going to stamp in gold, I'm going to emboss in gold, and it will be very noticeable, right, if you have little gold bits here and there. So just inking this up, and really on this one I'm using gold and gold. If you want to use gold ink and then clear embossing powder, that's great too. I would probably stamp it twice just to get really good amount of gold. For me, this is just to get the stickiness of the ink down, and then the gold embossing powder is just what's going to do it for me. So again, these are clear photopolymer stamps, so they are nice and sturdy. Should stamp nice and crisp for you. And I mean, that's pretty great. Okay, so I'll put this over here. I usually put a scrap of paper down. Let me see. Bummer, I don't really have one. We'll use this. Usually I use like printer paper. See, I was gonna say typing paper and I caught myself because back in the day it was typing paper. So let's get some of this. And I'm just gonna kind of slowly pat it down. I'm not really patting it, I'm just letting it sit. And even from here I can get it back in here pretty well. But usually what I do is I let it cut out something like that. And I'm going to hit that with a heat tool, and generally I do this off camera because it's so loud and people can't hear me anyway, but get your tool nice and hot, and as soon as you see the embossing powder melting, move to the next area, okay? And I'll be back. And look at that. Super pretty. And I mean, if you want to color in, you know, some of the leaves or some of the different things, you can definitely do that. I'm just going to leave with that gold accent looking really pretty. So I'm going to package this back up, pop it in here. I don't know if I have room on here for this guy. Yeah, that would be a really close call. I'm just going to get another piece of paper. So I'll be right back. We're going to stamp our sentiment, and then we'll start putting things together. Okay, so I think I'm just going to stamp my sentiment in black ink, and let that dry a little bit. And just a scrap of paper, clearly. And I'll take this guy, and actually I need to clean this off. For right now, we will just get this guy going. So we have that there. Well, let's do this first. And you can also heat emboss this too if you want that look, you know, for that. We have Merry Christmas. And let me see if I can stamp all these things at the same time. And Happy New Year. Look at that. You don't have to stamp these at the same time. Clearly you can stamp the one, then the other. And I'm just eyeballing what I'm looking at. It's the sea on Christmas. Sorry, I want to adjust my lighting. It's very blue. Hopefully that works better. So what I was looking at is the Merry Christmas, and see how the sea kind of curves down, and I'm just kind of past that sea and then trying to make sure that that looks straight too. That looks pretty good to me. Let's see here. Let's just make sure that we have enough paper to center that. It's okay. What I'm going to do is move this up just a little bit. Give myself a little more room. Okay. And let's go ahead and stamp this guy. Not Twilight, that's different color. I just want black. Really nice. It looks pretty great. Okay, so let's let that dry. I'm going to clean these things up and I'll be right back. Nice. This little guy again, I'm just going to eyeball that. Oh, you know what? Okay, maybe we'll do it afterwards, but we have all these cute little like motifs that you can definitely do a little more stamping with if you want, just to bring something, you know, back to this part. So maybe I'll do that afterward, just to make sure we get them stamped. That looks really good to me as far as how straight everything is. So let's tape that down. And this guy, you know, gets a little wonky because of the heat embossing, so just want to check that out. Oh, there we go, and that's perfect. So I'm just eyeballing this, you know, seeing the edge, kind of where that's hitting, where this is, and I mean that looks pretty good to me. And I have some little piece here. I try not to get too much on the actual embossing because you don't want it to get pulled up by your washi, but you know, just find a spot where you think it'd be pretty safe to hold that down, and then I'll run both of these through. Let's see what we have. Beautiful. And we have this guy here, something like that. Oh, and I guess that's the other thing. I stamped it in this direction you know, when I cut it, but you can also do it in this direction if you want that to be landscape, right? Or portrait. I keep saying that backwards. Let me see which one I want. Up the top. Yeah, like that's good. And then we have this little guy that's just gonna pop up right there. You know, I kind of like the way it is so clean, but what I was thinking about was just taking, like, let's say like this little mistletoe or like this little holly and just putting it on a stamping block and just maybe adding a little gold accent there and there. But I do like the clean look, so let's just go with that. But you can definitely use these little guys. And again, there's dies for every single little motif on this sheet, which is really nice, including all the words. Okay, so let's go ahead and just glue this one down, then we'll pop this guy up, and that will be our card for today. So again, I'm going to put some glue on this, and then I'm going to put a weight on top, and while that is being weighted, I will also put some dimensionals on the back of this guy. And what I mean by putting a weight on top, and you guys know, is basically, I'm just making sure this is how I want it. I put my platform carefully. I don't want to move my piece that I put, and then I'll just pop something else on top that's heavy, like the machine, and I'll be back where we're at. I just give it a few minutes, you know. Okay guys, sorry, I was just realizing I didn't take the carrots off this, but then as I was thinking about that, I have this sprig here, and I know my videos are going to be out of order when you see them. I already kind of played around with the large die of the month, and I had this sprig left over. A little piece of the sprig is cut, but you know what? I think that's going to look really cute if I just tuck it under here. Look at that little pop of color. Okay, the other thing is it does have little berries on it. Again, it's from the large die of the month, so I went ahead and just cut some berries right now really quickly just to get them on there. So let's pop these on, and then we'll add this little pop of color. I think that's really pretty. But again, they look really nice, just clean like that. I'm just adding this little burst. So let's just take some of these little berries, pop them on here. Hopefully I cut enough. I just used a scrap of paper just so I would have enough little berries possibly. And so let's put those there and there and there, and this last one just in case. Let me see. Ooh. Oh good, right here. I was like, I need one more. That on this same die, on the large die of the month, there are two different kinds of berries, and one just has a little line and one has like a little hole. So I just want to make sure I had enough of the same ones, and I did. So let's pretend if we put that there, just real quick, see down a little bit more. I'm trying to cover up that leaf, basically, is what I'm paying attention to. Okay, that looks good. Okay, just a quick addition, guys. I'm gonna put some glue here and here and here and here and here and here and here. Just really kind of getting that down here so we can see it. Kind of imagining where that would get covered up. Cute. Oh my gosh, I can bring it down just a little more. And we can see more of the sprig. I think that is a wonderful addition. But again, if you just want to stick to, you know, the clear stamp of the month, you don't need to have that. And oh, that's so pretty. Again, if you want to put another one on the top, I just had this extra one and I thought, what a cute addition. So there it is, guys. Thanks for watching. Thank you so much, Spellbinders, for sending these items for review. Again, if you are, well, I guess I didn't mention at the beginning, if you're a current club member, you can make changes on the 1st, but if you are not and you want to add a club or start a club, generally that opens up on the 6th. Sometimes they open it up on the 5th. Just keep an eye out, but I'll have the links in the description box. And again, images coming up, and I'll see you all at the next one. Bye now.